Okay, hello, what's up? Welcome, day one, the deep soy method. And I just want to show you this chart over here, and I want to explain it just a little bit before we get into the technique for day one. I call this ACE. It's kind of ACE squared, because awareness changes everything, ACE, and awareness changes every day, right? What that basically means is we don't need to get too deep into it, but we can become aware of something, which means what we thought this morning, we've had a light bulb moment, and we think something different now. So awareness changes everything, and it changes every day, so we can constantly grow and accelerate that growth by having these understandings. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at this chart over here, okay? We know what we know, okay? We know what we know. We know our age. Even though we don't age, we grow, right? We're timeless. We don't age, we grow, right? But we know how many years we're on this planet, right? We know where we are in our family dynamic. We know our partner's name. We know our name. We know our mother's name, father's name. We know what we know, right? Then there's another little aspect of this is we don't know, we know. Okay, so we don't know, we know. So in other words, the natural gifts and things that we're really, really, really good at and we take for kind of granted. You know, it comes when you become an artist. Oh, how did you become an artist? How do you do that? Sometimes you might find it hard to explain. So we don't know, we know. The other small part of this is that we know what we don't know. So we know that we don't, for most of us, we know that we don't know Chinese. We know that we don't know many different languages. We know that we're not like mathematicians in that sense. So we know what we know what we don't know, and we don't know what we know. But the biggest part of that chart, and the piece that we want to focus on by tapping in and doing these exercises that I'm going to give you over the next 7 days, is that we don't know what we don't know. In other words, there's so much more. There's so much more that we are unaware of. It's even scientifically proven that our eyes can see less than 1% of the light spectrum. In other words, there's so much there that we can't see, like a snake can see, and a dog can see, and a bat, they move with sound. Like there's so many different things going on that our human perception is very limited in that sense. So we don't know what we don't know. There's so much more. And I'm going to keep these short and sharp. 7 days, 7 tools, little different tips and tricks to amplify presence, patience, and even create space for your purpose to come true. 3 things that my children taught me. There's actually more P's. We can get further into that down the line. But they can change our perspective. We can develop healthier perspectives. We can develop more patience. We can make more room for play, and we can begin to tap into our purpose with these simple exercises that I'm going to give you over the next 7 days. So the first one, day one, the deep soy method. Simple, okay? One of the very first practices that I learned when I went to a meditation training all the way back in Perth when my son was 1, so 8 years ago. That's a soy, okay? Before we do a soy, let's check in and see where our breathing is at right now. This is a bonus, right? Check in throughout the day where your breath is at. What does that mean? Well, am I breathing out my nose? Am I breathing out my mouth? Is my chest lifting when I breathe in? Is my belly lifting when I breathe? Where is my breath right now? Check that. So just literally naturally breathing. Is it high? Is it low? Is it nose or mouth? Take a deep breath with me. You probably already were. Blow it all the way out. Okay? Now let's practice. Now that we know where our breath is at, we've took a deep breath, we're kind of grounded. Now let's start the deep sigh. So a deep sigh, for anyone who doesn't know, is in through the nose and then just let go. And I encourage you to let go with sound. So in through the nose. There's a pause. I want you to find that space. This is the hack. There's a space before the next breath naturally wants to come. Let's do it again. In through the nose. Hold at the top. Let go with sound. The space. Find that space. Feel your body starting to relax. But you're stretching that gap, that pause, that space. Last one. Hold at the top. Just let go. The pause. Just do 3 of them. Don't do any more than 3 of them. Now let the breath go back. Over time, just like my meditation teacher taught me, you can recalibrate the whole body with one deep sigh. So your homework for today is to put this where you're going to see it. Depending on how you operate, you might put it on the mirror, you might write it on your mirror, you might put a postage stamp on your mirror, you might put it in the bathroom, you might put it in your dashboard of your car, you might put it in your office, you might do all of them. You might tell Siri, you might set it as a reminder to do it 5, 6, 10 times a day. You can do this when you're doing the dishes, you can do this when you're driving, you can do this before you walk into the children's bedroom when they're acting the goat when you're going up the stairs, you can do it on the way up the stairs, to be more present, to be more calm, to be more patient, to develop healthier perspectives. It's a grounding exercise. It's a practice that's we're not looking for perfection. Practice makes progress, and I can guarantee you that this one tool alone will change the game for you, because as you stretch that space, that pause, there's no thought in that space. You're paying attention to yourself. You're investing time, effort, and energy into yourself. It's free. And over time, we can recalibrate and reset the whole body with one deep sigh.